Hey there, I want to have a discussion today about one of the biggest lessons that I'm going through as an individual and learning at the moment. And I'm seeing out there with many people, and you might be experiencing it yourself. And when I say discussion, it's you listening to me. So please engage in the conversation in the comments so we can have a bit of back and forth, and that would be great. But for me, it's about being brave and being courageous, and how that shows, or how people express that and need to do that in so many different ways. And my way is, can be very different to yours, and vice versa. To give you an example, like I've generally always been someone that is push, trying to achieve this and trying to achieve that, and get disappointed if I set lofty standards and that sort of thing. And you guys might relate to that. If I have a day off, I beat myself up and call myself lazy and all those sort of things. So my courage and where I need to be brave right now is actually doing not the opposite, but allowing some space and allowing myself to go into the opposite. So allowing myself to have that, to look after myself with those downtimes, okay, and to have some space and to relax, dare I say it? See, I can't even say the words. To relax, okay? So then, my upside, I can be there, because that's a massive positive, I know, of mine, and I know it's a massive positive of a lot of you people that no doubt are paying attention to this. But we need to allow ourselves to have that downtime as well. So to give you an idea, when it comes to, in my field, an aspect of my field, when it comes to movement or workouts, allowing that space in your week for just a nice easy walk. I really struggle to jump on a rowing machine or jump on an assault bike or whatever we're using and not go for it. Like I can't, I really struggle to pace myself. I say I can't, of course I can, but I don't allow myself to, because I'm going through that path of, you can do better than this and all that sort of stuff. But it's not about that all the time. We need to leave, I'm talking to myself right now, have that space, to go for a walk. One of the things I'm putting in place at the moment, and maybe you guys can get out of it, and I'm definitely going to put it in the Carmody spectrum from here on, is more sessions of, I don't want to call it self-love work, but like mobility. So foam rolling and looking after your body, and just slower movements where it's not about the exertion, it's just about opening the body up and feeling good. So I just wanted to talk about that because, for some people, being brave is the opposite. It's, okay, I haven't been doing much for a while, I need to get off the couch, I need to move a bit harder, or I've been doing lighter exercise, I'm not pushing myself and exerting myself. For some people, that's the brave and the courage that they need. Okay, now I know, no doubt, we're expressing it we're seeing it in different ways now with what's going in the world, being brave to get out of bed. Get out of bed and maintain hope for the future and those sort of things. Some people have had some really hefty financial and emotional blows at the moment. Lots of us have. So for some people, it's the courage to keep doing that and facing the day. Those sort of things. The other key part of that is really prominent for me at the moment, as it has been for several years now, is the courage to actually realise, particularly if you have been a high achiever, or if you've achieved certain things and you've done well in certain aspects of your life, that you definitely, you pride yourself on not ever thinking to ask for help, because you see that as a sign of weakness. I know one of the big developments in my life over the last couple of years is, aspects of my life where I perhaps haven't done as well, or I've struggled with, to reach out and ask for some help in those areas from people that flourish in that area, and people that are well equipped to provide that sort of support. So, whether it's having a coach, or whether it's reaching out to loved ones, your partner, for support in those areas, or even just starting with being open for a discussion about it. I know that it usually starts with the, talking about it and then going, no, and then, but at least listening to it and then letting that settle, going away and thinking about it, and not having that straight away pushback, which is normal, particularly for people. I know people like me, and I'm sure some of you can relate, but to let that sort of settle and be courageous and brave to go, maybe they've got a point. Maybe I do need to think about that, and maybe I do need to settle with that. So it's one of the other really strong things, and I think that's a huge form of courage to do that, particularly someone that's not used to doing that. So that's another way. The flip side of that is the person that's always looking for support, and always looking to be have their hand held, and their courage to actually step up and do some things for themselves and not rely on other people. Okay, so there's both ends of the spectrum, and we can help each other out. So what's one of the lessons I'm learning to be, we say, more compassionate or empathetic, those sort of things, but just understanding of where people are at, and that's I think that's a huge lesson of what we're going through at the moment. Well, hopefully, I know it has been for me, and it's one of the reasons I love being a coach. Because I can be there to support someone, and I tell you what, if someone reached out to me because they were struggling with something, or they felt like they needed some courage in an area, I could never say no to that. I mean, that's what drives me as a coach. The number one thing I love seeing in someone is self-belief. When they start believing in themselves, even if it's the smallest part, man, that's one of the best things to witness in the world. So that's one of the huge things that drives me as a coach, that sort of self-belief, because I know that spark can create so many great things, but I know we can't always get that by ourselves as well. We've all had different upbringings, and some people haven't been privy to either having having parents that can ignite that in you, or having teachers or coaches, or they just haven't found the right one, or they've just taken a different path for some reason or other, and lost their footing at some point. So to reignite that in someone and get that belief and realise what they're capable of is, that's what coaching's all about, and that's one of the best things in life. So leave you with that. I know it's a longer video than I was hoping to do, but I think it's such an important topic. Being brave and being courageous, just how it can be in different ways. And also part of that is realising that you don't have to be brave and courageous all the time, and allowing other people to support you, because as I've just spoken about, it gives me, it really fills me up to be able to support someone else, and like other people in your life too. You don't want to use them as a crutch, but them being able to support you can make them feel, satisfied and fulfilled, and they get to play their role for you as well. And that's what a great community is about. That's what great relationships are about. I thought that was worth talking about. So that's a huge lesson for me. I'd love you to share what you're going through. I understand that some people are more private than others, and they don't want to share it in a public forum such as this. If you feel like you want it, if you feel confident and comfortable enough sending me a private message, more than happy to talk. Hopefully it's wins, but if you feel like you need some support, or you struggle in some of these areas, please reach out, because I'd love to help. I live for that stuff. Okay, cheers.